A pleasant morning teaching everyone, especially to our dearest professor, Ma'am Alinita Cortesa. For our week 2 task in Linguistic 2, we are tasked to make a video presentation. Well, the content of this video will be the different view of the different language teaching and learning, the different theories in language learning, the different components of English grammar, the different types of grammar, and including the differences between synchronic and diachronic linguistic, as well as the differences between language and oral languages. So we have three types of different language teaching or learning. First, we have the structural view. Second, the functional view, and the last is the interactional view. So let's come to know now what is this structural view of language. So here in structural view of language, the language is a system of structurally related elements for the coding of meaning. The target of language learning is seen to be the mastery of elements of this system. Moreover, it has some more points. Language items should be identified in terms of phonological units, that is to say, phonemes, grammatical units, that is to say, clauses, phrases, and sentences, grammatical operations, that is to say, adding, shifting, joining, or transforming elements, and lexical items, that is to say, structure words and function words. So, structural view of language further helps us to define language in terms of phonological units, grammatical operations, and lexical items. So, next is the functional view of language. Here, the language is a vehicle for the expression of functional meaning. This view of language promotes communicative movement in language. This theory emphasizes the semantic and communicative dimension rather than merely the grammatical characteristics of language. Next is the interactional view of language. Here, the language is a vehicle for the realizations of interpersonal relations and for the performance of social transactions between individuals. Here, language is seen as a tool for the creation and maintenance of social relations. There are different theories in language learning, and first we have the behaviorist theory. Behaviorism is also known as behavioral psychology. It's a theory of learning based on the idea that all behaviors are acquired through conditioning, and conditioning occurs through interaction with the environment. There are certain assumptions of behaviorism. First, all behaviors is learned from the environment. And second, psychology should be seen as science, which means that the theory should be subordered by empirical data. Third is, behaviorism is primarily concerned with observable behaviors as opposed to the internal events like thinking and emotions. Last is, behaviors is a result of stimulus response. Next is the cognitive theory. Cognitivism is a learning theory that focuses on how information received, organized, stored, and retrieved by the mind. Here, the mind is considered as the information processor like a computer. It therefore looks beyond the observable behavior, viewing learning as internal mental processes. In this view, learners are actively involved in the way they process information. As you can see, cognitivists are concerned with what learners know and how they come acquire it. Next is constructivist theory. Constructivism is based on the idea that people actively construct or make their own knowledge, and that reality is determined by one's experiences as a learner. Basically, learners use their previous knowledge as a foundation and build on it with new things they learned, so that everyone's individual experiences make their learning unique to them. The last theory is the social constructivist theory. This theory focuses on the collaborative nature of learning. Here, the students rely on others to help create their building blocks, and learning from others help them construct their own knowledge and reality. Basically, in social constructivism, Every conversation or encounter between two or more people presents an opportunity for a new knowledge to be obtained or present knowledge expanded. We have different components of English grammar, and basically, these are the eight parts of speech. These are noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, interjection, preposition, and conjunction. So I'm going to define each of these one by one. Noun is a word that represents a person, concept, or place. Noun that represents a name of person, example is Noah. Noun that represents the name of things, example is pencil. Noun that represents the name of place, example is Paris. Adjective is a word that describes the traits, qualities, or number of a noun. Examples are beautiful, smooth, heavy. Adverb, on the other hand, is a major parts of speech that we use to modify verbs, adjectives, clauses, and even other adverbs. Examples are frequently, usually, yesterday, angrily, greatly, everywhere. Verb or action words in the sentence that describe what the subject is doing. Examples are throw, tell, think, go, run, dance. Preposition is a word that indicates the relationship between a noun and the other words of a sentence. Examples are to, inside, outside, beside, and so on. Conjunctions are used to join clauses, phrases, and words together for constructing sentences. Examples are and, for, nor, or, so, yet, and so on. Interjection, on the other hand, is a word or phrase used to express a feeling or to request or demand something. Examples are wow, ouch, uh-oh, psst. Pronoun is a word that can replace a noun if in a sentence. Examples are she, he, you, I, they, we, and so on. And I'm going to differentiate prescriptive and descriptive grammar. Descriptive is an approach to grammar or language concerned with the use of language by native speaker without reference to normal or correctness, while prescriptive grammar is concerned with established norms of correct usage of language or grammar to be followed by the users of language. In descriptive, it does not consider what is correct, while in prescriptive, it emphasizes uncorrect and incorrect norms. In descriptive, it does not value the judgments, whereas in prescriptive, it values the judgments. In descriptive, rules are natural need to be learned, and in prescriptive, rules are not natural. Descriptive is used mainly in academic linguistics, while prescriptive used mainly in fields like education and publishing. In descriptive, rules are made according to the daily usage of the language by speaker, while in prescriptive, there are specified standard set of grammar rules. Descriptive takes the principle that the language use vary according to speakers, whereas prescriptive takes the principles of long existed grammar rules created by native speakers. Now I'm going to differentiate synchronic linguistic and diachronic linguistic. So there are two available temporal axes for the analysis of language that encompass all forms of human activity, namely synchronic analysis and diachronic analysis. Synchronic analysis or synchronic linguistic is the study of a linguistic phenomenon at a given point in time. In this type of analysis, there is no study of language across time, no matter how much time the linguistic phenomenon covers. Or it tries to understand of the functioning of language at a single point of time without reference to earlier or later stages. So diachronic analysis or diachronic linguistic on the other hand is concerned with analyzing a linguistic phenomenon in terms of development or evolution through time or the production of difference across time. Now I'm going to differentiate the oral language and written language. Oral language has something to do with sounds. It is spoken and heard, whereas written language has something to do with letters. It is written and read. Next is the aspect of both language. Oral is spontaneous, informal, and interactive, while written is structured, formal, and transactional. So let's now have their characteristics. Oral language involves variation in speed, loudness or quietness, pausing and phrasing, facial expressions, body movement, speech organs, word stress, juncture, and intonation. While written language involves punctuation, capitalization, spelling, layout, proofreading, and graphical effects. So those are their simple differences. I guess that's all, and thank you for watching my video, Professor Alenita Cartesa, and I do hope that you did enjoy watching my video. Thank you for watching and have a nice day once again.